Hi, my name is Michal Smetana. I'm an associate professor at Charles University. I'm a director of Peace Research Center Prague, and I'm also a head of the experimental lab for international security studies, which is a small lab where my colleagues and I are using experimental survey methods to study public and elite attitudes towards foreign policy, as well as, for example, nuclear issues. The main area of expertise is definitely connected with nuclear weapons, chemical weapons, generally weapons of mass destruction. This is a subfield that I've been dedicating my time since I was an undergrad, so I'm really keep studying these issues up until today. But to keep myself busy, there are some other topics that I'm really into as well. Lately, we do a lot of studies on lethal autonomous weapons. That means AI-powered weapon systems that are really relevant to current security debates. I'm really interested in studying norms, deviance, stigma in world politics. That's the stuff that I wrote my dissertation about. So again, it's another area of international relations that I really like to investigate. I became interested in nuclear weapons since my late BA studies. That's when I kind of had my first subjects on this issue, and I found it really fascinating. I on my During my master studies, I did spend even more time studying nuclear weapons, and I did my MA thesis on nuclear issues. After that, I had the break. I wasn't really sure if I want to have an academic career, so I tried to do some other stuff for a year. But at some point, I decided I want to give it a try. So I applied for PhD. I did my PhD where I also wrote my dissertation on nuclear issues. And after my PhD, I stayed at the university and became a full-fledged academic. Teaching is definitely a passion, not just an obligation I have. I've been teaching on nuclear issues basically since my early PhD years. So it's something that I did spend a lot of time on learning from my mistakes, and there were many mistakes at the very beginning. Today, I'm really into trying some more innovative methods. I definitely don't like this front teaching when I need to spend 1 hour talking myself. My classes are very interactive. They're based on debates, different like interactive games with a lot of simulations. For example, it's something I'm really trying to experiment with a lot. I have kind of like some other innovative teaching techniques that are making hopefully students more engaged, and yeah, so far I feel that they enjoy it, and I do too. Public should definitely care about nuclear weapons. I mean, I understand that after the end of the Cold War, there was some period where, in the public perception, nuclear weapons kind of disappeared for a bit. I remember that when I started studying these things, like for many people I talked to, it was like this more Cold War relic that, they didn't understand why we should talk about nuclear weapons when there are more pressing issues such as terrorism, later climate change, etc. But yeah, I mean, I will not say anything like that surprising, but I guess the events in Ukraine after February 22 kind of highlighted that nuclear weapons are still there, that they are relevant, that we should be concerned about their potential use. And I believe that today many people do realize that they are paying more attention to these issues, especially at the beginning of the war. The media were really covering this issue in much detail. Obviously, there are a lot of misperceptions about nuclear weapons, a lot of problematic narratives that are there, but I guess that's the role of scholars, researchers, experts to try to speak up and try to correct these narratives if they are wrong. If I would highlight one trend that kind of keeps me awake at night, I guess is the disintegration of the whole arms control architecture. Again, like studying nuclear arms control has always been something very close to me. I mean, I always found it fascinating the whole story from the beginning of coming with not very intuitive idea about how to manage relationship between adversarial powers that are nuclear weapon owners to very complex net of different treaties, institutions, practices, norms involving countries that possess these weapons. And today we see how this whole architecture is basically disappearing, disintegrating. There is not that much left of this overall architecture. And I believe there are serious risks that many of these principles that help to keep us at bay and somehow grounded when it comes to nuclear provocations. I'm not sure how it work exactly without them, what will happen, and to what extent this lack of constraint might lead to some outcomes that will be definitely very much supportable for everyone.